Why are you still alive today? I got diagnosed with stage 3 bowel cancer in December of 2018. I had everything surgically removed from my pelvis. This is called a total pelvic extenteration. I had about a year of very hard chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Things aren't exactly easy with my new body. 2 stoma bags for life and various other problems. But I was saved by very significant medical and surgical intervention. Since then, 4 years of clear scans WHOOP. Because I have to pay taxes, I can't let them down. Because I have big boobs. I was in a bad car crash 60 miles per hour to 0 in about 3 feet. My chest hit the steering wheel hard, even though the airbag deployed, and my left breast acted like an auxiliary airbag. I bled into that instead of my chest cavity. Poor thing was badly bruised and I'll never be a model now. But I'm still here to tell the tale. For revenge. To be better than everyone who ruined my life. Because I've managed not to die thus far. The IED went off a few milliseconds early and completely destroyed the Humvee's engine compartment. Instead of going off under my seat. What's the craziest WW2 fact that you know of? My dad and his brother, Dan, ran into each other randomly in France. They turned around and saw each other. And they both yelled, "What are you doing here?" I have a couple of photos from that day. They got to spend that day together before going back into hell. And they both survived the war. The nuclear attack on Nagasaki almost failed when the bomb plane got separated from their escorts. And they wasted 45 minutes of fuel trying to find them. My all-time favorite WW2 story doesn't involve any violence or killing or destruction at all. Background. Weather patterns in the Northern Hemisphere generally move west to east as a result. The Germans were at a disadvantage in not knowing what weather was coming towards Germany because it was coming from the west, i.e. it was coming through areas controlled by the Allies. So, they decided to secretly emplace an unmanned remote weather station on the coast of Canadian Labrador, which could send weather information to Germany by radio. Remember, no such thing as weather satellites back then. The weather station was emplaced by a U-boat in 1943. Since it was kind of hard to hide, although in a very remote area, the Germans put signs on it saying it belonged to the Canadian Weather Service. They also scattered empty packets of U.S. cigarettes around so if anybody found it, they would assume it was an Allied military installation. It was eventually discovered by the Canadians. And X200B. And X200B. In 1977. And X200B. In fact, when it was discovered, the local people assumed it was exactly what the Germans had hoped them to think, that it was a Canadian military emplacement. It wasn't until 1981 that someone asked the Canadian military about their old weather station in Labrador, and the Canadian military said, that's not ours. Edit. Sorry. Forgot the link. Weather station Kurt, Wikipedia. https en.wikipedia.org/wiki/weather_station_Kurt. In France, my uncle Curtis got blown up but still alive. So they morphined him really good and buried him in the sand till the battle moved on. Then they came back and got him. He's still kickin'. Here's an article about him. https://www.al.com/live/2012/09/in_we_tank_batali.html https://www.al.com/live/2012/09/in_we_all-black_tank_batali.html That time the British dumped a dead man's body with fake plans planted on him so it would wash up in Spain and get turned over to the Germans. Bear with me on this one. In 1942, a company of Polish troops were evacuated from the Soviet Union and found their way to Iran. Along the way, they befriended a Syrian brown bear that they named Wojtek. They officially enlisted him as a private in the unit. The men ended up in Italy from 1943-44, bringing the bear along with them. It helped to carry heavy ammunition and quickly became a celebrity among the troops. Wojtek was eventually discharged after the war and lived peacefully in Edinburgh Zoo until he passed away in 1963. What used to be a common household item that's rare now? A huge wooden piece of furniture, with a small TV screen embedded in the middle. A wall-mounted, corded telephone. Ashtrays. Even if you weren't a smoker. There was a time when it was impolite to not have one at the ready in case a smoker visited. VCR. A phone book. Metal ice trays with a pull hinge to break and loosen the ice. That sucker would always freeze to your hands too. What's something you stopped buying because it became just so expensive to have it anymore? A strange one. But bowling. A few years ago my girlfriend and I went bowling at a local bowlero and it was maybe $60 for shoe rental and 2 hours of bowling for 2 people. Just recently we checked prices online so we could go again. And the same rental and playing time is $150. Insanity. Concert tickets. As I was reading through all the comments it occurred to me that something or someone has really shit-wrecked the county. Food, entertainment, necessities have all gone to shit. The quality of the products and the quality of the service are screams that something is broken. Fast food. It's supposed to be cheap and fast, now it's neither. Even if the place looks kind of quiet, there is usually a massive, virtual queue of delivery orders. Also, managers seem to massively overestimate how efficient the new technology makes their employees. It's always just staffed by like 2 massively overworked college students. Ultimately, it is kind of good that it has motivated me to go to smaller local places. But like mobile games, the delivery apps will always have their whales that have more money than sense. New video games. Everything I get is on sale. Turns out that you can wait. As of this month, streaming services. Between all them, the cost and amount of ads we still see is a no-go. We've had enough of it. We got a VPN and will be returning to the high seas. What is the scariest fact you know? Bacterial meningitis can cause death in as little as a few hours. There are over 250,000 deaths a year due to medical error. There's a different version of you in the minds of every person you've ever met. I turn 66 soon. Looking back at 40, it doesn't seem that long ago at all. If I live to 90, I will only have 244 months left to live. At a certain depth, water will start to pull you down. If a nuclear war were to happen in the UK, precious artwork would take precedence over the wider populace and be moved to a nuclear bunker. Somebody's breaking into your house right now. What's your immediate action? Start cleaning up a bit. I'm at work, my dog will have to kill them for me. Finally, a house guest. Listen to them retreat in abject horror once they get inside. Use my years of piano and try to frighten them with some Mozart. Ever seen what scrubbing bubbles bathroom spray does to a human eyeball? People living in third world countries. What are some pros of living there that aren't even available in first world countries? Pros. Average cost of living. Rent plus food plus utilities for one person is about $500 per month. Cons. Average monthly salary is about $450. Pros: everything, if you are rich. Cons: everything, if you are poor. I see that you've already mentioned piracy. I watch, listen and read whatever I want whenever I want for free. And I also teach from materials I find for free. We have Tindahan, or sorry stores. Only if you don't live in exclusive villages. These are stores that have your basic pantry needs. Meaning if in the middle of the night you run out of cooking oil, you want soda, alcoholic beverages or just some snacks, you can just go out and walk few paces to the nearest Tindahan and buy one for less than $1. I know in the US or other countries you can only buy these in groceries or convenience stores. Other countries may have these as well, but basically it's just saying that if you need something, you won't have to drive up to a store. If you are wealthy and lives in exclusive villages, then I don't think these types of stores are available there. If you're middle class, for the West, you can have a really high standard of living. Apart from the roads and public transport, you can get full-time workers for $200-ish a month. Private, luxury healthcare is really cheap. For $2-4,000 a year your kids can go to private boarding school. Groceries are sold for pennies. State government gives us subsidized food every month. For $3 you get 3 kgs sugar, 1 kilogram salt, 2 kilograms lentils, 1 L oil, 250 grams tea, 5 L kerosene and 10 kgs each of rice and wheat. High-speed internet is less than $15 a month. Subscriptions are also lower. YouTube Premium is $2. Can eat in a good restaurant for $2-3 per person. Second-hand books are very cheap. 5 kilograms of books of your choice for $2. Good quality clothes made entirely of natural fibers are also not expensive. And it's very common to get tailored clothes. For me, on my farm I grow fresh fruits and spices. We have coconuts, mangoes, papaya, jackfruit, various types of bananas, pineapple, different spinaches, rambutan, lemons, cardamom, pepper, cloves, bay leaves, coffee, chocolate, every kind of dry fruit and nuts you can think of, and fresh meats, eggs and milk from home. Edit. Pictures. https imager.com/a/n6hc306. Edit 2. Typos. Subscribe, my brothers.